The second Death Star was bigger, stronger, and somehow operational, while still under construction. How did the Empire pull that off, especially in just a few years?
It's a trap!
Welcome to Split Reviews. Every week we break down a new timeline combining canon, context, and storytelling. This week we're tackling the construction of the second Death Star, arguably the most confusing of them all. This is part 3 of our 4-part Death Star series. We began with the original Death Star's chaotic 19-year build, then explored the book Catalyst to understand how the project took shape behind the scenes. Now we're moving forward with the battle station that loomed over Endor. This video uses more sources than either of the previous timelines, and each one adds a piece to the puzzle. Return of the Jedi from 1983 is our key on-screen evidence for the station's construction, status, and operational readiness. A New Hope for how it sets up the Empire's philosophy around superweapons and fear-based control. The Star Wars Galactic Atlas from 2016. It's an EU-only book that's not super easy for us in the United States to get a hold of. This atlas helps anchor several major dates in the broader canon timeline. The Visual Encyclopedia from 2017, which adds technical and production context, including design evolution. And from a certain point of view, Return of the Jedi from 2023, which gives us an in-universe perspective on the second Death Star's construction and how it was perceived by those around it. By pulling all of these sources together, we can finally piece together the story, when construction began, how it accelerated so fast, and how much of the station was actually complete by the time the Battle of Endor began. Now that we've established that, let's dive into the full timeline of the Death Star 2. The first Death Star is destroyed at the Battle of Yavin. The destruction prompts Emperor Palpatine to secretly begin construction of a second, improved station. Palpatine orders a second, more powerful Death Star. Construction begins shortly after Yavin as a direct response to the rebel threat. The second Death Star is built in orbit over Endor. The Endor system is chosen for its secrecy and strategic defense. Design enhancements fix the first Death Star's flaws. The super laser is improved, and known vulnerabilities such as the exhaust port are all eliminated. Construction is fast. Using pre-existing modules, the Empire reuses plans and components to accelerate the build. A planetary shield generator is installed on Endor's moon. The station is protected by a powerful energy shield projected from the surface. The super laser becomes operational despite the station being incomplete. We know this because the Death Star 2 fires on the rebel ships during the Battle of Endor. The Death Star is deliberately made to look unfinished. Its apparent vulnerability is a trap laid by Palpatine to lure the rebels in. Palpatine leaks the station's location as bait. This is part of the Emperor's strategy to crush the rebellion in a single stroke. If you're enjoying this series, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. It's not a trap, it's a step to make sure that you don't miss the final episode. Now back to the Death Star. Bothan spies retrieve critical intelligence. The Bothan Spynet acquires data about the Death Star's location and the Emperor's presence. Mon Mothma confirms the Emperor will be on board. She announces the intel during the rebel briefing, acknowledging the Bothan's sacrifice. The Rebel Alliance plans a coordinated ground and space assault. A strike team is sent to Endor to destroy the shield generator while the fleet prepares to attack the station. A Rebel strike team deploys to Endor's surface. Their mission, to take down the shield generator so the fleet can strike. The Rebel fleet arrives at Endor to engage the station. Led by Admiral Akbar and Lando Calrissian, the fleet jumps into battle. The trap is sprung. The shield is still active. The Death Star files on the rebels, revealing it's already operational. The shield generator is destroyed by the ground team. This exposes the station to attack by the rebel fleet. Rebel fighters enter the Death Star's superstructure. Lando and Wedge Antilles lead an assault run inside the half-finished station. The main reactor is destroyed. Death Star 2 explodes. The internal explosion annihilates the station in orbit above Endor. The second Death Star was more than a weapon. It was a trap. A bold, unfinished threat meant to draw the rebellion into the open and crush them with one swift stroke. But that gamble would only work if the Empire controlled Endor. And that's exactly where things fell apart. But let's be completely honest. The tide truly turned not with a fleet maneuver or a throne room duel, but when Chewbacca, along with 2 Ewoks, hijacked an ATST, and unleashed havoc on the unsuspecting Empire forces. That stolen walker didn't just tip the battle, it shattered the Empire's grip on the forest moon. And when the shield went down, the second Death Star's fate was sealed. So this wasn't just a timeline of construction, it was a story about how even the Empire's most terrifying weapon could be undone by courage, teamwork, and a little furry leverage. Next week, we finish the Death Star series by stepping into Legends to explore how Death Star 1 was originally built before canon rewrote the timeline, and what those early versions reveal about the Empire, the galaxy, and the story that could have been. If you've been following this journey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's the most surprising part of the Death Star's history to you? Drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the conclusion. We'll see you next time.